2, 3.
Hey everyone, welcome back for this Friday's video. The piercing I'm going to be talking about today is arguably one of my favorites, and that's my flat. My flat piercing is the one up here in this little area above where your rook would be. I have this little butterfly in it right now. It's so cute. Let's start at the beginning. My flat was my first cartilage piercing I got done professionally. I used to have my helix, but it was like high up with like a big stud in it. I did it in my friend's bathroom in freshman year, COVID. I think it was during COVID. I'll put a picture or video here if I could find anything. But yeah, I used to have another cartilage piercing done with a gun. It didn't hurt. It didn't hurt at all with the gun. Never really healed. But this was my first one going in to a proper shop with a proper needle, and I was terrified. That same day I got my flat and my helix done, and I told the lady, I'm so scared, do the flat first, because if I get too scared to do it again, at least I have my flat, because I could care less about the helix. So she did it, and I had my friend Katrina there. I was holding her hand. The girl was about to do it. Katrina gets out her phone to start recording me, so I wish I had a video for y'all. And the girl was like, no phones allowed. Absolutely no phones. And I was like, what? If you guys saw it, but I made a vlog on here getting my conch pierced. And that's actually the exact same shop. It was just a different piercer. Tyler, he was the best. And he let us record. So, shout out to Tyler. But I'm sure every piercer just has their own rules and what they're comfortable with. And then she's like lining it up, you know. They don't use the clamp. They just use the little back, the receiving tube, and then the needle. It did not hurt. She put it in. She's like, ready? 1, 2. I was like, that's it. That's it. When I tell you guys, it was just like the quickest pinch ever. I was shocked. I was so scared and it did not hurt. And I was like, oh. So after they pierce it, they have to put the jewelry in. So I'm just laying there, and it feels a little funny because it's a flat back, but she pushed it really tight. So it just, I could feel the vibrations in my ear. I'd rate the pain like a 3 out of 10. It definitely pinched, but it was over in like 2 seconds. This is the exact jewelry I first got it pierced with. Just this little heart. They use a flat back, and the flat back is the best, so it doesn't get caught on anything. It just like pulls apart, so it's super easy. So yeah, I was given a flat back 16 gauge, I think 8 milliliters. I think it was 8 milliliters. And so after your piercer gives you a longer bar for swelling, you're supposed to go back after 6 to 8 weeks and get a smaller bar, so it heals faster. It doesn't heal crooked. You don't get inflamed on pulling on things with the long bar. I, however, never went in for my downsides for any of my piercings actually, but it healed great. I could pull on it, I could tug on it, and I switched jewelry out just fine. Healing time, I would say 4 to 6 months. So I got mine end of June. But right after I got mine, a few days later, or maybe the next day, I was on a plane to South Carolina, where I was gonna be staying and playing on the lake with like my cousins and my family. So every day I was jumping in that lake, and they tell you no lakes, no ocean, no swimming pool, blah 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 blah, for 3 months, I think, or 3 weeks, I don't know. I was like, knowing damn well I might get my piercing wet. So I'm jumping in the lake, I'm having fun. I come back home to LA. I'm in Santa Monica getting slammed by the waves, and my piercing is chilling. So a few months pass. I don't really touch it at all. I do the cleaning. How I would actually clean my piercing is I would use warm water and non-iodized salt, and I would make that little mixture like a warm cup. I would dunk a paper towel on it, soak the paper towel in the salt water mixture, and I would just like hold it. Or I would make the mixture, the salt water and the salt, and I would put a little spray bottle and I would spray it. So that's how I mostly cleaned it. And then I think eventually I did get just a random saline spray on Amazon. Now, I did get my helix pierced at the exact same time. And this one, I didn't really like the jewelry as much. And I really wanted to change up the jewelry more. So I kind of messed with it. I'd always try to put in another jewelry, put in a hoop. And I kind of irritated my helix a lot. But I would never touch my flat. I just loved them. I loved the little heart. There was no need to touch it. There's nothing I wanted to change. Obviously, you know, you can't put a hoop right here, so I just never touched it. And then one day I was just like, you know what, I want to change it. I found some cute other jewelry. I want to change my flat. Pulling it apart for the first time was really hard. It didn't hurt. It just felt like no matter how hard I pulled, it was not coming off. I think when piercers put your jewelry in, they push it so tight. Like my rug, I can't get out. I can't get it out. But I was pulling and pulling and it didn't hurt. It didn't hurt. I couldn't do it. But eventually it did come out and I was shocked. When a piercing isn't really fully healed, you can't really see the hole very much, or you could see it but it's not like a crisp hole. This one, when I took it out, you could see like light through the hole. Like it's healed and like no issue. I was so shocked, y'all. I took it out, put a new earring in, no pain, no issues. And then because I was also dealing with my helix at the same time, and my helix was giving me so many more issues. So I'd say after 4 months, I was chilling. My biggest piece of advice is you can touch it, you can play with it. I definitely would play with it. Just clean it, and I just wouldn't switch out the jewelry until it's healed. Like, don't actually like mess with it that much. Another great thing I love about my flat is the placement. So obviously your sunglasses are going to be hitting where your helix is. When you sleep, this is the first thing people bump. If someone hits your ear, it's usually your helix. What I'm getting at is basically it's a little more hidden, so it's going to have less irritation from like forces you can't control, if that makes sense. For jewelry options, I wouldn't say you could do a hoop unless you get it closer to the top, but that would just be a hidden helix, honestly. So I'd say maybe just cute jewelry, a big jewelry. If you have a bigger flat area, you could do a bigger statement piece. I also think a jewelry dangling down would be so cute. Yeah, if you got it pierced and you're not sure what size jewelry to buy, for a flat back, I would say get 6mm and get 16 gauge. And if it's fresher and you're still kind of swelling, but you want a new jewelry, get 8mm so you have room for your swelling. And I say flat back, threadless is the best. Threaded jewelry, you're gonna have to screw on either on the back or you're gonna have to screw on the front. And trust me, it gets really hard. Some of the jewelry pieces are really little to screw on. So I try my best to shop threadless. Threadless is the one where it's just a flat back and it just pushes in and pulls out. But yeah, that is pretty much it. If you're thinking about getting it, do not get discouraged. Doesn't really hurt. It's my favorite one. There's so many cute jewelry options and I think it's a perfect spot to start with because it's right there in the middle, you know. Let me know if you guys have any other questions I didn't really address in this video. I kind of went as the thoughts came on the top of my head. Let me know if there's any other piercings you guys have questions about, or if there's another one you'd like me to make a in detail video for. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see you guys next Wednesday or Friday. Bye.
There was a time when I was so broken.